Hey guys, I got an Oskar Blues Brewery um, variety pack. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. And it came with an IPA, a Scotch ale, a Pilsner, and a Pale Ale. And so I'm going to work my way through that list. This is Mama's Little Yella Pills. And so it's 5.3% alcohol by volume. And it's the gold medal winner. Just saying. So we're going to give this a shot. Pilsners are a lot like American lagers, and oftentimes have corn or maize as part of the ingredients, and so it has a very corn-like sweetness. Sometimes if it's made with rice, it'll be a little bit more neutral, kind of dry and crisp, a little bit less sweet, so we'll see where this falls in that category. But at 5.3%, it's right in the middle of the range about, which is about 4.5 to 6. So we'll check this out. This is going to make it onto my craft brew in a can playlist, and I actually took one of these down to the pool shortly before making this video, just to, test its poolability, and it passed. So let's give this a shot. Sweet and crisp. I think I got some of the bubbles on my nose. Plus I think I have rabbit hair on my nose, but nonetheless, sweet, crisp smell. A lot like a lager in that respect. I'm trying to decide, and I'm kind of looking over the classic American Pilsner description in the BJCP guidelines, which is, by the way, category 2C. What would exactly be the difference between a lager and a Pilsner? So we're going to have to do some examination of that in a moment. But it did pour with a pretty good head, and it did persist for a while. I ended up getting it on my nose. And so that's good for style. It's a nice kind of pale golden color. So it says yellow to deep yellow. It's definitely yellow. Has some good carbonation going on in there. Flavor. So we're expecting some maltiness, but light in intensity, and not a lot of hops back to it. Interesting. I'm curious now, and I don't do good research in advance of doing these beer reviews like my friend in Louisiana does. He always looks up and finds out what the ingredients are and a little bit of history about the beer, and I always just get excited and want to make the video. But here is one of those moments when knowing that information would be very useful. To me, this has very little flavor. It's very watery. And so that makes me wonder, is this not a corn adjunct beer and it's made more with rice grain? That would kind of explain that lightness and flavor, but I don't know that for certain. And I guess I could look it up in a minute, but I get very little flavor. Very sweet. It has like a sweet, almost syrupy sweetness as in the aftertaste, after mouthfeel, which is interesting. It says that it should have medium to high hop flavor from the noble hops, and medium to high hop bitterness, which should not be coarse or have a harsh aftertaste. No fruitiness. Should be smooth and well balanced. I really feel like this has very little flavor to it overall, and so it's, kind of like a yellow pills, which I guess, is the name. But I think it's probably safe to say that Pilsner is not necessarily my most favorite beer, but I still expect that it's going to have some beeriness to it, some flavor that will make me enjoy the ingredients, and this is very, very, very light in flavor. So to this, I would suggest that people who like lagers, very light American-style beers, you should definitely try this. And it's portable in its can, poolable, beachable, great in that respect. And since it's so light in flavor, it's probably great for hot days. I prefer something that has a little bit more flavor, or something that goes really nicely with lime. I like Land Shark, actually, is a good lager. But nonetheless, we're getting off the topic. You know, it's okay. I guess it's drinkable. And I really don't feel like it evaluates to style very well, because it doesn't have a lot of flavor. And I can't tell if that's because the flavor is lost on me. I just don't, I'm not picking up the subtle hints of flavor, but I really feel like it's just very bland, I guess is a good way to describe it. Yeah, that's that. History of this particular style. It's a version of Pilsner brewed in the USA by immigrant German brewers who brought the process and the yeast with them when they settled in America. They worked with the ingredients that were native to American to create a unique version of the original Pilsner, hence the use of corn. And this style died out after Prohibition, but was resurrected as a homebrew style, advocates of the hobby. So, it's a classic American Pilsner. Was brewed both pre- and post-Prohibition with some differences. Original gravities of 1.050 to 1.060 would have been appropriate for pre-Prohibition beers, while gravities dropped to 1.044 to 1.048 after Prohibition. Corresponding IBUs dropped from a pre-Prohibition level to 30 to 40 to 25 to 30 after Prohibition. So right now the standard is 25 to 40. So they really kind of dialed back on the intensity of this particular style of beer, and that might be due to the fact that the spectrum of beer flavors has really diversified, or expanded, I guess is the right word, and that there are a lot more categorizations of beer, and so this is a very distinct style and flavor profile. So interesting commentary there. You know, and so it's hard to tell, you know, if it's just not a very exciting style, or if it's just not a very exciting beer. But that's my review of it, I guess. So there's my candid take. So some styles. Oh, there's not really any commercial examples listed, unfortunately. So there you have it. You know, it's okay. It's drinkable. I have 3 of them. They'll probably, maybe I'll give them to somebody else. I'll sneak it on and be like, hey, try this. Let me know what you think. We'll see. But that's that. If this is something that you have tried, let me know. I would like to hear down below. And what were your thoughts on it, and where did you find it? At this point, I can't remember where I picked up this 12-pack. It might have been Whole Foods, but you know, I got a whole 12, so 3 of each of those 4 styles that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I'm kind of interested in trying them because I've had 1050 before, which is a really great beer, and had actually come very highly recommended by another beer review friend of mine. And I tried the Scotch Ale earlier today, and it was very enjoyable. So I'm excited about these, and I'd like to hear your opinion. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.